My name is Shrad.
And my name's Rita, and this is...
Almost there?
Question mark?
Welcome back. Today, hopefully, it looks a little bit different because of the quality of the camera.
Shoutouts to
Coach Raj.
Level Up.
Follow, like, subscribe.
Wait, so, yeah, but then it's the... Is his
the
company name
still
still
Level Up? Yeah.
But
like,
I guess if they search him up, that makes more sense for him.
It would be Coach Raj. But all right, before we get into it further, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube and on Spotify. You can give us 5 stars and follow us on Spotify as well. We're also on Instagram at ALMST there. And the extended version is always going to be on Spotify, so if you want to hear the whole podcast, it's all over there. And then if you want like little clippies and you don't have the time to listen to us yap, then YouTube is the way where to be.
Where it's at.
Where it's at.
That's where we be. That's where you go. That's where we be.
Facto.
Yeah.
Anyways, but what's been poppin'? What have you been watching?
Have you watched the Ashley Madison documentary?
Bro.
So
insane.
Did you even know about Ashley Madison? Or had you heard about it?
I heard about it, but I had no idea what it was. Like, I didn't know it was like... I didn't understand it. Because it was when we were really young. Like, not really young, but it just wasn't when we were that old to, like, at least for me, to process what it was. I didn't know the scandal even happened in Toronto. I didn't know this was a Canadian thing.
I knew it happened. I didn't know it was a Canadian thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know the Toronto police was like involved and stuff like that. It's wild. But basically, Ashley Madison is still
a thing.
Yeah, it's still a thing.
So it's on Netflix. If you are gonna watch it, go watch it on Netflix and then watch this because it's crazy and I think we need to talk about it. So there will be fucking spoilers for sure.
But like, okay, so the whole concept of Ashley Madison, for whoever doesn't know, I mean, you've already watched it at this point, right? Because then you came here, so you probably know. But Ashley Madison, yeah. And you've stayed on this... Life in a brown house.
I wonder if they heard it. I wish they did.
I know, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Ashley Madison was basically a website that people would sign up to, and you have to be married to be on there.
You don't have to be married, but the idea
wasn't it? It's for married people.
It is for married people. It's like it's a website for cheating, right? But like the other person doesn't necessarily have to be it's just everybody knows that you might be in a relationship.
I thought like everyone is married.
No, because remember the girl who cheated with Jennifer Garner's husband? She was not in a relationship. She was just she was just a person who was on the website. So it's just, I think, a website where everybody knows that no matter what, everybody's okay with you cheating. It was marketed as something as you're in a relationship, but if you want to spice things up to save your marriage, which is something that they marketed too. If you want to save your marriage, then join
the community.
Yeah, and like you can cheat.
Yeah. And it's like acceptable. And there was always controversy around it, and like the CEO at the time was this man who was like the face of the company, and so he would kind of talk about like, that this will save your marriage. This will help you. This is not to, we're not all supposed to be monogamous, and it's just not the way like it should be. And then eventually like he brought on his wife, and like he's like, well, we're in a very successful monogamous.
I don't understand. Like I don't understand how people joined it. Like, well, I guess they don't give a shit about who the CEO is and what he's doing. They just want to cheat. Yeah. But like in my head, I'm like, how are you the CEO and you're sitting there and be like, I have a monogamous perfect relationship, but you guys don't have to. Yeah. I don't believe in any of this, but here's an outlet for it. Yeah. Like, that is insane.
But what he said was, from all the information and conversations that he is like always in, it has just prepared him to actually have a healthy relationship with his wife.
Where they communicate.
Where they're able to communicate their needs. And the problem with marriages and stuff like that is that you're not able to communicate, and it's very hard to like talk about what you need and require in a relationship, and the everyday of life is very hard and it's not simple. So you get a break from that. But he's saying, oh, all these conversations and all this information helped me just excel. Like, I don't need this
I'm
stuff.
the perfect husband.
Yeah.
And then... And poor wife, like, she was sitting in these interviews, like, he made her go to these talk shows and stuff, and she would sit in these interviews and be like, yeah, like, I'm just so happy, he's, like, the perfect husband, and this and that, and then she'd be like, the interviewer would be like, oh, like, what would you do if you found out that he was a part of this? And she goes, I would be devastated. Like, he would never do that to me. I would be devastated because we have a monogamous relationship. We have this idea and we have this ideal family. So the fact that he was, like, even worse, like, on a disgusting level, like, what ended up happening at the end, the whole thing is about how they got breached. Ashley Madison got breached, and all of the people involved were basically ratted out. So there was just this whole list of everybody who was taking part. Their emails are put out, their first and last names were put out, like, literally everything was out into the public. And so it was like everybody was exposed for using it. But his was on another level because this person, what were they called?
The Impact
Team. The Impact Team. So they were like to him, we're gonna expose your shit, and they did. And his was like not even using the websites, which we'll get into why, but not even using the websites, but he was like asking for escorts that were younger and emailing people and just like trying to shop for people as if they were like freaking like meat. Like, it was insane. But you know what like blows my mind is that the Impact Team, that's all they did. They didn't come out after that, do anything else. Nobody ever ratted them out. Nobody like came to claim $500,000. Like, nobody.
They just weren't there for money.
Yeah.
So it was just a vendetta against the CEO, I think.
And the company as a whole.
Yeah, I guess, because then they outed like all the freaking people.
All the people.
It's kind of wild though. They did ruin a lot of like.
Families.
I mean, I don't know if it's. I don't know. It's just, that's privacy, right?
I think there's a different way of dealing with it, right? Like, in a perfect world, they would have reached out to the families or send the families emails or done that, but that's a lot of work. But it did, like, people lost their lives over this. Yeah. In the show, they show that this man who was trying to do something in the church service, I guess, like, I don't know, he was like trying to do, I don't know what he was trying to do.
Oh yeah, he was part of like a ministry or something of that sort. Yeah.
And he got fired and he committed suicide. So like, there was just a lot of things that a lot of people were like, it affected a lot of lives, but like, they were being evil. I don't think that should have happened. That obviously was not, it shouldn't lead to that. Like, nobody should die because they made a mistake, you know? But it was quite crazy.
Yeah. You know what was it? I think what it is, it brought out a lot of people's the shit that happens in the world. And like, in an ideal world, yes, you get married and like everything is, it's hard, but you get through it because like, you know, it's all worth it and love is everything and whatever. But I think what it did, like, even me watching the documentary, like, we don't like to think about it, or we don't like to, like, I don't know, we don't like to think about it as a reality of life, but a lot of people step out of their marriages, and most times, like, the partner will never find out.
Yeah.
Or your partner will find out, but they either stick it out or whatever, but that's all secret. Like, you don't learn about these things. You don't know about these things from, like, you know, experience. Yeah. It's kind of like embarrassing. Sorry, I just saw that. I just stopped for a little. Like,
What I thought was so interesting and like really real as well was the older lady whose husband passed. She was very honest. And I think that's it's a reality for a lot of people where she's like, I knew it was happening, but I didn't want it to like materialize. So she was like, I'm not going to check. Right? Like, I'm not going to check whether his name was on that list. But she had an inkling on the back of her mind. But she's like, I want to live in ignorance. Like, I want to not know. Because I'm fine and I'm content with the life that I'm living. And that's enough for me. And I don't need anything else. But that's it's such a vulnerable place to go out in front of everybody and be like, I'm okay. I understand that he might have been doing that, but I was okay with it. Because she found letters, she found things that he was cheating on her with, and she just decided, I don't want to know. But you know what was fucked to me? The radio shows. That was insane. So what ended up happening is this list went out with all these people's emails, their names and everything like that. But it was such an extensive list that you couldn't spend the time sitting there and searching for everybody's name, right? Or emails. So these search engines came out that they had created, like whoever, I don't know who it was, like random people in the world were creating these search engines to be able to search for a name, like a first name and a last name. Also keep in mind this happened like
I think 2015 is when it all like blew up.
Yeah. So I don't think it was like, they didn't have, this was 10 years ago, like 9-10 years ago, which is wild that 2015 is 9-10 years ago. But it was a while ago, so they didn't have like, our technology wasn't as advanced as it is right now, right? So they couldn't be able to search it. So these search engines were searching for things. But I think it was a German radio show. I can't remember.
I think
Australian, something international. The radio show was like, hey, if you want us to search for your partner's name, just call into the show and we'll do the search for you. And they were doing this live on air. And it's like, how do you, I can't, like the morality behind that is insane to me. And they say first and last names, bro. They go, my partner's name is blah, blah, blah. And like, even if they're not on there, how embarrassing if like he's not cheating or she's not cheating and like your partner's on the radio, like airing out your laundry. Like,
yeah, what if like, but people, all of us have like very similar names. Like there's another you out there with the same name, you know, and same for me.
Yeah.
What if like, you know, you got onto this, you're listening to the radio and your partner's like, you're just listening. Like you're just going to work, okay?
Yeah.
In the morning you're sipping your coffee and you hear your name. Like your partner hears your name and they're like,
she's mad about it. She said, not my partner.
No, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'd be like, yo.
But not only that, can you imagine your employers? Like, they're just driving to work on the radio and they hear, oh, Shrads is on that list. Like, what? Like, they'll be like, huh? And especially, like,
then now you're trying to prove that you're not a cheater.
It's not you. Yeah. They're also, like, the more Western names. Like, there's, like, Johns everywhere. Like, John Walters, like, there's probably 5 of them. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? So how do you know which John Walters? But their emails are attached. So maybe that's how you...
But you're not saying that on the radio, right? I don't think they would give emails. I think that's hopefully they're not doing that.
Well...
Yeah.
They expose the emails. They expose everything. So yeah. And also like people live on this high ground when people cheat and stuff. The people who haven't cheated feel as if they're like this like moral god, and they're like, you cheated, you deserve it. Yeah. Okay, so here's the other thing. Have you watched Vanderpump Rules?
No.
Okay, let me tell you about it. So there's this girl, this girl and this guy have been in a relationship for I think 10 years, and their whole relationship's been on the show. They're so in love. She's had a lot of like insecurity stuff, but she's like absolutely stunning. She has a best friend. Last season, her partner slept with the best friend, okay? And it was like last season they were talking about freezing her eggs and freezing embryos and doing all these things, right? And he was just not going in to like give his sperm to freeze the embryos, which now looking back is a great gift, because then they would have like these frozen embryos of them together. But it came out on the show, it came out everywhere that he cheated with their best friend on her, right? And so this whole thing happens. We're now on season 10 or 11 now, and that season was the best season they've ever had, because now like it's called Scandival because his name is Sandoval, so it's called Scandival. There's like everyone's hating on Tom, and Ariana is the girl's name, but she has made more money than she's ever made in her whole entire life because of this. So she was on Dancing with the Stars. She's on Duracell like commercials. She's on Broadway. She's on, what else did she do? She's on, like, she's a host of a dating show. She's on this thing, and she's basically gotten everything she wants in life after this thing, right? Because people have put her up on this pedestal, and he is treated like trash everywhere he goes. Okay? Which, to an extent, I understand, because it was her best friend. you know?
Yeah.
But, like, are we gonna do this every single day? Like, how long are we gonna do this?
Yeah. It does, like, once your image is ruined in society, you're, like, fucked. I mean, that's even in cancel culture. Like, once you've done something and it's out there for the world to see, you're done. Like,
and it's the best friend. I think that's the biggest thing. It was her best friend, and this girl's coming out being like, I was never her best friend. And you can obviously, in the show, it's a reality show. Like, even if you're not, why did you act like it, right? And, like, they got matching necklaces and stuff, and they would wear it on the show. It was like they were trying to hide it in plain sight, right? And it was so messed up. It was actually so messed up. And I think about it, and I'm like, oh my God, it is horrible. But I just can't imagine, like, one person dealing with the whole world hating them. And it's like, he did something wrong. But also, technically, what I think is that he cheated on his past girlfriend with her. So, like, this is a trend for him. He, like, cheats. That's what that whole group does. They've all done it. They've all cheated.
But
right?
this is, like, her husband, and he did that with her best friend.
But they're not married.
Oh, wait.
Which still doesn't make it... They've been together for 10 years, which is a long time. But, like...
I mean... Yeah. I think just...
Don't cheat. But I just don't think that, like, all this hate is warranted. Like, I just don't think that the whole world needs to hate him.
Yeah.
If your friend cheated...
Oh, if my friend cheated.
If your friend cheated on their partner... Yeah. Are you staying their friend?
Yeah.
Right?
The fuck?
So then all his friends are getting hate for supporting him. But they're like, we're not saying that what he did was okay. But that's our friend. Like, what are you going to do? Just, like, drop him?
Yeah, no. People are just, you know... Everyone likes to act like they would never do something. Yeah. Or, like, you don't know. What you're capable of doing if you're not... at your best or whatever. Like, you never know. So why do we judge people to the point where, like, you're gonna hate on them so much, you're gonna cause... It's just, I don't know. And then let's say something did happen, like, let's say something horrible happened to him. He decided to do something. Yeah. Okay. Then people will be like, oh shit, R.I.P. Like, oh, you know, we shouldn't have been that harsh.
I don't think they would have said that, really? Though.
You think they'd just be like, oh, but, like, he had so many other things going for him.
Yeah. Like, I just think that they would just be like, oh, R.I.P., he was a good man when he did XYZ. He just made a mistake and it got to, like, I think it would be that. Like, I don't think people take responsibility for their actions. Like, I don't think people understand that, like, they think that I just made one comment, but they don't understand that 10,000 people have done that day. Yeah. And how, like, heavy those things are, you know? Yeah. Oh, he doesn't help himself because he doubles down.
Oh, okay.
So he doesn't say I should have cheated, but he's just like, we weren't sleeping together. We didn't have chemistry. Like, she was like my roommate. Like, he doesn't help himself. So I think that's another thing that people hate him for, where it's just like, you did it, just say sorry and let's move on. But he's like, sorry, but, you know, and that doesn't help his case.
Do you think that cheating is, like, one person's fault?
Yeah. Well, no. I don't know how to explain it. I think that the act of it is the people cheating. Like, that is completely wrong. I do think that there might have been something in the relationship that reached to it, but after watching Ashley Madison, the guy had a perfect relationship. She was a perfect wife. Like, she wasn't doing anything wrong. It's just something in him that he was like, I need to go somewhere. Like, he had
needed
it in
validation.
his soul. Yeah.
Like, more validation.
Yeah. And so sometimes it's just not it. I just think, don't cheat, guys. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah. I don't think and I wouldn't say, like, it's on both people or something like that, but I think communication and not feeling comfortable to talk about uncomfortable things causes people to do things that maybe they never even thought of doing. Yeah. A lot of people come from, like, different situations and stuff like that, so they don't know how to communicate, or, like, maybe the other person isn't a good communicator either. Like, it all does... It still doesn't make it acceptable to, like, cheat on someone, but I also can understand more why, like, if... Like, I used to think, you know, you cheat, you're out. Like, you're done. You know what I mean? But I feel like now I understand more why people would stick through
Yeah.
it. They have to, like, obviously deal with it in a healthy manner. Hopefully they do. But I also understand more now why someone would stick it out with that person, because one thing doesn't always mean the end, you know?
But this is not us saying, like, you should.
No.
Yeah.
No, but I can understand why people
understand
stick with it.
Yeah.
And I think after seeing the documentary, and even before that, I think, like, you know, I can understand why. And I think a lot of people are also, why I'm saying that is because I think a lot of people who stick with someone who has cheated, like, they are given a bad rep as well. Like, oh, you don't have, like, you don't have self-worth.
You don't
like,
have a
you
spine.
don't know what you want.
Yeah.
Like, why would you stay with someone like that and stuff like that? I just think that, like, there's no reason to go off on anyone. That relationship is between two people. Yeah. And that's what Ashley Madison, like, gave access to all this stuff. And the people that are not monogamous, maybe it was time for them to have those real conversations and be like, I'm not a monogamous person.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which is so fine, too. If that's not who you are.
Yeah, man. Do you? Honestly, you have one life, okay? Yeah. Oh, what was their tagline? Wasn't that their, like, tagline?
Oh, yeah. Something like
you
that.
You have one life, enjoy it, or something.
You don't need one something. Yeah,
you know what's so bad? Yesterday, so I watched the documentary yesterday, right? Mm-hmm. So after it was done, I wanted to know, like, you know, what's the update? Like, if they ever found, like, this impact team or whatever. All I did was type Ashley Madison, and there was nothing about the documentary or anything. It was the actual website. And them just, like, promoting it.
Oh, my gosh.
All of that. Yeah, because they're still a business, right? It's still going. And so as I was, like, scrolling, because I'm trying to find where's the information about the documentary instead of typing it. And I'm going down, and this is just a Google search. And I just see more and more. It's just, like, you know, even if you're married, you can still have fun and you can still do this and that. And I just felt so icky. I had to get out of that. I didn't even want to know anymore. Yeah. I don't know. I don't care if the impact team was found or not or whatever.
That's the thing, though. That's what I think they understood very early on, that bad press was good for them, even if it was bad, good, whatever. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, the people who wanted to do it, now they're like, ding, I have an outlet. Like, I have an outlet to do it. So it's like, nobody needs to know. Nobody needs to find out. And it became that thing. And I think now what the lore is, like, even though all this has come out and they've, like, let people get access to the information, in their head it's like they've probably put the security in place so it doesn't happen again. You know, those kind of people justify those things to make sure that they can, like, at the end of the day get what they want. But yeah it is insane. Yeah. How crazy that Snooki's husband was found on it. And she still says, nope, he's not on it. It wasn't him. Which is fair. Like, how do you know? Like, their name, everybody's name is the same. Mm-hmm. It's just the email address that you would just have to, like, check and confirm.
Honestly, even if she did find him and publicly she's not addressing it and she's saying, like, no, that's on them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nobody needs to confirm anything for the public. You just don't. It's your thing.
It's your life. Yeah. It's so funny. So the other day, I was looking at, I started watching Jersey Shore Family Vacation. Have you watched it? No. Oh my God, it's so funny. It's so good.
Yeah. It's so funny how they're still so, like, entertaining.
They are.
Like, I've seen, like, a few clips here and there. They're just so funny, dude.
They're so funny. Yeah, so I was watching that, and so I was just going down a rabbit hole on Instagram, like, just looking at what they look like now, because I'm only on, like, season 2 or 3 or something like that. So, and they're, like, season 7. They've been on it. So I'm, like, looking, I'm, like, trying to see who's with who, whatever. Are people divorced, whatever. And in Snooki's comments on her pictures, your husband was in Ashley Madison. Did you see that? And it's like, now that the things come up, she's probably like, oh my God, I got to deal with it all over again. But yeah, it was really fun. Her kids are so freaking cute.
They are so cute.
They're exactly like her. Mini Meatballs. Yeah.
She's so little, dude.
She's so little.
She's so little. But she's good vibes.
She is. She's a
She's
wild
no
one.
longer problematic, I think. I don't know.
No, but she likes drama. She likes like whatever. I think,
but also, don't they need to do that for the show?
Yeah, I think they're all like that in the sense of, like, if you come attack me, then I'm gonna stand my ground kind of vibe. Mm-hmm. So yeah, but they're a fun group.
Wally,
Z.
Wally.
The cab is here. The cab is here. Boys weekend. Yeah. Boys weekend. bro, I love, it's so good. I never watched Jersey Shore. Well, I did. I watched like certain episodes, but you know how people like watch every episode?
I watched like every episode.
Yeah, I didn't. I was too young at the time when it was like popular. And
Sammy and Ron were fucked.
No, but Ron is still like
wild,
messed up. Like well, I'm on season 2 or 3, I can't remember. But his baby mama is wild. She like hits him. She dragged him with a car. She went to jail. He's broken his teeth because of her. He's gotten black eye because of her. And they have a baby. Bro, and he keeps going back to her. I'm sure he's toxic too. He is 100%. But she like texts him like, I guess like it was when Sammy got engaged. She's like, look, she sent him a picture of it and is like, look at your ex getting engaged. Look how happy she is. And then she's like, I can't wait for when I get to do that a year from now. Hopefully I'm just as happy or happier, and I'll take your kid and he'll be a better father than you ever were. Like, just wild shit. Like, wild shit. And also the situation, just what a freaking gem now. He's such a sweet boy. Like, he used to be such a havoc. Yeah. He's just so sweet now. Yeah. Just an angel.
But it goes to say, like, if you feel that you have issues, you have to actually work on it, and then you can have the life that hopefully you would want.
Right.
You know. Also, you also don't know. He might also not.
He might not be life. That. Yeah, that's true. No, but he does seem like he does. I think it's his wife too, who's like just like changed him and given him a new perspective on life and jail. Sometimes just getting
consequences actually. Make you,
And now he has babies that he has things to live for, you know? It's different.
I was actually, when I was, going back to Ashley Madison, only to say this, like, when they were saying like, oh, you need a break from the life where you have these responsibilities, you have the kids, and then now it's like you're actually just a roommate and all that stuff. And it's like, actually, if you think about that, that's creepy. If you actually just take that in, and if you actually just take in that life of like the responsibilities now that you have of like making sure the bills are paid, like, like things just like the like normal life stuff that like everybody complains about or talks about, but why is that the normal, that like people are just stressed?
But you know what though, like life happens, right? And money is not something that, like, unless you're a bajillionaire, you're gonna worry about money, right? And people, you tend to buy things. I mean, you should be buying things within your means, but shit happens and you get stressed. And I think that something that we've been taught or we watch and stuff, it's like it's always a fairy tale life. Everything's always perfect and things always work out. But when you're working through it, it's a phase of just stress. It's a phase of we need to figure this out. It's hard, right? And you're both going to be in a phase of anxiety or you're going to feel a certain way. And I think that needs to be normalized. It's okay to have those things, but you have to work towards like getting out of it and like just being happier, right?
Yeah.
But
I think they are phases. It's important to remember their phases.
Yeah. And I think we and people in that moment forget that it's a phase, or they just like, or they let it become their whole life, right? Like they get caught in it and it's like that's everything that our relationship is gonna be forever. And and they just get used to it. And I think that's the part that's like a little scary. It's like you can, at the end of the day, unless you're putting the work in, you can get caught up in just being roommates.
I think our generation, I hope, is maybe a little better just because we have so much access now. Like at that time they didn't have much, because the internet was just starting to boom, and like there was a lot, and now you can get attention from this person. It was very new, and now it's not new anymore, and now it's more about how can I work on, like, if you're genuinely interested in working on your relationship and trying to make it work, you find so many things that people do, like online. You'll see like people say make it a point to have a date every 2 weeks. Or, like, once you have kids, you have you have a date every 2 weeks, and then you can do this like every month, or you can do like you check in with each other, and these are the conversations and blah blah blah. There's all these tools. There's a lot of that might not work for you, but there's tools on how you can actually deal.
And make yourself better. But I also think that the other side of that coin is because you have access to so many things, you have access to so many more options.
Yeah.
So you have access, if you put yourself in that like situation,
yeah,
you will be able to find many other things that are tempting to you, which isn't very healthy.
No.
People be cheating a lot.
They be cheating out here.
I don't understand. I really don't understand. And then they come
think
crying
about
back.
it. Like when you do something bad or something that's like forbidden.
Yeah.
The excitement will maybe
Like the
encompass
yeah.
the normalcy of your life right now.
Yeah.
So in that perspective, I can understand why that could be tempting for someone.
But like following through with it.
Yeah.
Quite thought-provoking.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to start.
What?
Thought-provoking.
Oh.
Like, you know how interesting became my filler word?
Mm.
So I was like, now a lot of people are doing it. It's everybody's filler word. And so I'm trying to start something different called thought-provoking.
Yeah.
So instead of interesting, we say, oh, thought-provoking.
Wow.
And I think that is a good one, where it's just like you're not agreeing with the person. You're not disagreeing. Like, you're not saying, like, I think that's the dumbest thing you've ever said.
You're just like,
oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just another version of interesting.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll hear more of that soon because we be saying a lot of thought-provoking stuff here.
Truly. Everyone in the comments. Everyone in the comments. Thought-provoking. Also, that one person who commented such a nice thing on our...
Yeah.
Which video was it? I can't remember. Whatever. One of the videos. Like, thank you.
That was really sweet.
It was really sweet.
It was only one comment, so it's very easy to remember, or very easy for anyone to find. But like that was really, really nice, and it was like, I think it was like she said something about like, or he or she said something about like you're like my big sisters or
like
something.
It felt like we were talking
so
about. Yeah, that was really cute.
Yeah,
so thanks,
really
girl. If we know you, please let us know, because
I
we
know,
have no idea
know.
who you are.
We might just know each other and like we're just
yeah because your name is not very like,
which is most like YouTube names, I guess. They're not like actually your name usually.
Well, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being here. As we said, if you want to watch, well, I guess it doesn't matter now, but going forward, all our full episodes are on Spotify, and then just the little clippy clips are on YouTube. And if you do have any questions for us or anything, you can always let us know. Instagram at ALMST there in our comments. If you know us, you can even DM them to us.
Yeah.
Personally, we'd love that. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. We hope you enjoyed, and let us know if you want any more of these shoot the shits, because they're fun to make.
Yeah. And we like shooting shits.
Yeah.
Okay, love you.
Bye.